Hey there, so let's make another wreath, and today we're going to make the Bowtie Ruffle Wreath. Yeah, I just came up with that name, but I think you'll like the way we do this wreath. It's a little different. I'm also going to be doing this wreath as a collab with my friends Amber of The Southern Girl Can and Michelle of A Noble Touch. We all have the Breast Cancer Awareness Kit that we got from Mel's Crafty Mojo last month, but of course she sold out, so she has this other kit available. I'll talk about it more in the tutorial, but if you use my code Julie's Wreath Boutique, all capital letters, you'll get an extra 10% off of any order of $35 or more. So let's get started and make something beautiful. Okay, so let's make a breast cancer awareness wreath, and I'm really excited about this. I'm excited, number one, because we're doing it with my friends Michelle of A Noble Touch and Amber from The Southern Girl Can. And October is coming. It's September 2021, the first or second weekend in September. And you can purchase this at Mel's Crafty Mojo. Okay, so what I do want to tell you, you can't purchase all this exact ribbon. That's the one thing that's out of stock, but you still can purchase this sign. It's a 10 inches in diameter. You can get pink poly burlap and I believe the gray poly burlap. But I also think black poly burlap or black mesh, if you have some on hand, would be great. I'm going to use this pink. This is what I have on hand, and it's very similar to the pink in the ribbon. So I'm going to use this one, but this is just another example of the pink that you could use. This is the light pink, but I'm not going to be using this one. But if you've got it, use it. What I also want to add here is that she is going to Mel at Mel's Crafty Mojo. And first off, you can use my link in the description box below. It is an affiliate link. But if you use the coupon code Julie's Wreath Boutique, all one word, in capital letters, you can get 10% off any purchase of $35 or more. So you save a little bit of money that way, okay? So what we're going to do is, and I know you guys probably can't hear it, but I can hear my kids upstairs going to town, but that's okay. You guys always tell me, I can't hear it. It's all right. So we're going to keep going. But I also wanted to tell you that I just talked to Mel today, and I suggested that this would be really pretty if she did like a buffalo check sign as well, because she does have some buffalo check breast cancer awareness ribbon, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to get the wood burner out, and I think you can even buy a wood burner from Mel, and we're going to start cutting our mesh. Okay, so we're going to cut the pink because it's pink, and it's prettier than the gray. So, and I'm a pink girl. I've always loved pink. So basically you're going to take the chisel tip and you're going to cut down and start a finish, okay? So that's where we're going to start. I want to cut these at 12 inches. And because we're using poly burlap, I just decided that I would rather cut all of my pieces with the wood burner so that we would have a nice finished touch on it. So I'm just going to cut these at 12 inches long, like so. And then I'm going to cut, I'm going to start off with cutting probably 20 pieces of each. And then we will see if we need to add more to this wreath when we get done with this part. Okay, so before we hop onto the wreath, we're going to see how we're going to attach it. And I believe that Michelle of A Noble Touch and Amber of The Southern Girl Can are going to do it differently. So you're going to have 3 different options. I want to make sure that you go to their channels. Their links will be in the description box below. I'll even pin it in the comments as well. And leave them, if you watched here first and then you went to their channels, leave them a red heart for me, okay? I also want to kind of talk about this, and we'll talk about this later, but from a personal standpoint of the whole breast cancer awareness and all of that, my mom, when I was 9 years old, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. She was only 34 years old. 2 years later, she got breast cancer again at the age of 36. Ultimately, my mother passed away at the age of 43 of cancer, and we really do believe that the breast cancer was what ultimately led to her death. So in the comments, I want you to leave, and I don't know. I think that breast cancer has probably touched almost everybody that's watching this video. And if it has touched you in some way, maybe you're a survivor. I want you to say, I'm a survivor. Maybe your mother had it. I want you to leave her name so that we can honor those who have fought so bravely and who lost their fight and those who have won their fights. And so if you would leave their names, if it's an aunt, a mother, a sister, a granddaughter, let's honor them. Let's honor their bravery, because breast cancer is a fight. And so I just want to kind of add that. So anyways, what we're going to do is I put a little X here and X there just to make sure that that was the top and that was the bottom. Now, if you live in an area where you get a lot of heat, you might not want to do this method, or you might want to get some E6000 glue to add with this hot glue that I'm using. Now, I always use, let me grab this here. I like the Gorilla hot glue sticks. This does better in different temperatures, and I just feel like it does a better overall thing. All of my products that I use here, any of these tools, you're going to find in my Amazon shop. Click on the link in my description box and you will find a list for wreath making must-haves in my Amazon shop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 12-inch zip tie here, and I'm going to take a piece of scrap felt, and I am going to put a good amount of glue here. Now this is where you could add some E6000. I don't have any here, so I'm going to just kind of lay that zip tie over that X. And be careful not to burn yourself, okay? And we're going to let that set up. Now, Michelle will show you a different way, and so will Amber, okay? But this is the way that I'm going to do it. This is the way I choose to do it. So, add your glue to your felt. And so for the top one, I have my, make sure the flat side of your zip tie is facing up. So I'm going to, oops, I don't want glue over there, Julie. And then I'm going to just do this. I'm going to have to clean that glue up. Look at the mess I just made. But what's neat about these signs is that from Mel's Crafty Mojo, they make the signs themselves, so they're not going to go out of stock with these signs. So I can't wait to see the other signs she's going to make. So she's going to have another option because she had some really cute buffalo check breast cancer awareness ribbon. So she's going to make a sign to match that. So we're just going to let this sit to the side and let that set up. Okay, so let's get started with our wreath form. We're just going to use a Dollar Tree wreath form. These are about 14 inches in diameter, so any 14-inch wreath form will work just fine. You could use 16-inch, you could use 12-inch. Whatever you have, it'll work. You'll just either need to add more mesh or subtract more mesh, okay? So I'm going to start with the gray, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to kind of do like a half curl, and so you're just going to curl it in just a little bit. We're going to fold it over, all right? And then I'm just going to gather it and kind of make like a ruffle, almost like a little bow tie. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to work on the second wire frame. So we have wire 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm just going to take a zip tie and I'm going to put my first kind of like curled under ruffle. Now, if you wanted to use more mesh, you could definitely do that. You don't have to do it the way that I'm doing it. Grab my wire cutters here. All right, so we're gonna just it's gonna kind of go at an angle. So now I'm going to put one on this third bar. So let's get another one here. And you could use it, not zip ties, because I am using zip ties. You could use pipe cleaners and do that instead. So I'm just going to curl it under just a little bit underneath. You could even just kind of fold it over, and then you're just going to make your little ruffle here. And basically what this is going to do is it's just going to help prevent all the fraying that can happen. So in each section, so if I put one here, I'm going to go and I'm going to put the next one, I'm going to put on the third or the first or the second, Julie, this wire. So we're just going to go back and forth. So you can put one here and then one here, okay? And so you're going to go all the way around with the gray like that. Okay, so we've got our little bow tie ruffles, is what I'm calling them. So now we're going to add the pink. Now, if you were using deco mesh, you might want to double up on these, okay? What's nice about poly burlap is that it's a lot, it's harder to see through, and it just covers a lot more area. So basically pick a spot where you have already started. So we started one down here. So I'm going to go to the next bar there. So bar 1, 2, and 3. So that was on bar 2. So now we're going to put a pink one on bar 3. I'm going to do the same exact method that I'm doing, but we are just going to do it every other one, so that we space out our colors the right way. So I'm going to put a pink one here. And again, if you want to use your zip ties, you can use your zip ties, okay? You don't have to I'm sorry, if you want to use your Chanel stems, pipe cleaners, whatever you guys call it, fuzzy sticks, you can do that. All right, so that one was on bar 3. So now I'm going to go back down to bar 2. So I'm going to put one, so that there's a gray, it's going to go pink, gray, and you kind of get the point here. And then we're going to see how well this covers and see how many petals or how many bow tie ruffles that we need. So I'm just going to bend it over. And if you wanted to make these even smaller, you could use 10-inch pieces. You're just probably going to need more of them. So we're going to get our little bow tie going here. And I'm going to put it right in this zip tie. And I like zip ties. People always ask me, why do you use the zip ties so much? Because it's just easier on my hands. I have issues with my hands, so it just makes it easier. So if you're watching now, make sure you subscribe. We love to make beautiful things here on Julie's Wreath Boutique. I think a lot of you guys have been here before because we've done these collabs and you guys seem to really like them. So make sure you stay around a while and subscribe. All right, so now that I did one on bar 2, I'm going to skip this gray one and we're going to go back up to bar 3. So we're going to just go bar 3, then bar 2, and so forth. So that way, that each one of these sections will have 4 of these bow tie ruffles in them. Okay, so when I first told you when I was cutting all the mesh, I said, oh, I'm going to cut 20 pieces. You're not even going to need that. So what the good news is with this style of wreath, if you use a Dollar Tree, the 14-inch frame, or even if you use a 12-inch frame, if you have one roll of the gray and one roll of the pink, you could do 2 wreaths if you purchase 2 signs. Okay, so that's kind of the good news. I think that we could probably make the ribbon last for 2 wreaths as well. So if you have several people that you want to make this for, if you want to make this and sell this, that's a good option too. And one of my goals with this wreath was to not make it so high or deep, I should say, that you would have to use a huge box. I want to use the smallest box possible so that my shipping rates will be minimized, because it does matter, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put the sign on next. And so we're going to take the top one and we're going to just kind of figure out, you know, where we want this to go. I'm just going to look at it. I think I want it to do this, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the top portion here. This is where the inside bracket of the wreath frame is, and I'm going to attach it to that bar, okay? And I'm going to, okay, I'm not going to tighten it all the way. I'm just going to put it, I'm going to lay it on there just to kind of get it started, and then we'll tighten it. You never want to just kind of go in there and tighten it real fast, and then you got to start all over because you tightened it too much. So I'm kind of looking at this. All right, I'm going to take my next, let's grab this here. I'm going to flip this over so you can see it better. And I'm going to connect it. Remember, don't tighten it too much. Just get it on there and then turn it over and look at it and make sure it's where you want it to be. All right, so as you can see that zip tie. So we're going to tighten that some more. Just ever so slightly to get it to the point that we like it. All right. Okay. And then, I don't know, you can kind of bring these out. I'm going to bring this one out to kind of cover that zip tie. I'm just going to play with it. Get it the way you like it, okay? using the wood burner does not eliminate the fraying, but it will help reduce it, okay? So I like where we're going. So now we're going to get out our ribbon, and I think that's gonna lay nicely in there. Okay, so you're gonna play around with it. I got some of my bow tie ruffles kind of coming out, and you're just gonna work with it, okay? So we're gonna set this to the side now. I'm gonna actually, oh, and I should tell you this much too. You need to trim down your little zip ties. These are heavy duty 12-inch zip ties. So I can't even remember. I think I may have gotten these, a long time ago at, I think my husband got them at some home improvement store, but I'll see if I can put some in my Amazon shop as well. But I'm also going to take, I think I have some pink felt. So what I'll do is I will cut a piece of pink felt the size of this frame so that we can add it to our wreath at the end, because obviously you can make a back for this one. You can't see through, it doesn't have a center to see through. So what I want to do is I want to have like ribbon burst through this wreath. So we're going to start with our awareness ribbon. And again, she doesn't have this in stock anymore. You guys bought them all up before we could even film these tutorials. But she does have a lot of pretty ribbons in her shop. So make sure you go over there, guys, because if 3 of us are doing videos and we're all sending you to Mel's Crafty Mojo, she's going to run out of this. So as soon as you're done watching this video, you should probably go check out her shop. And remember to use the coupon code Julie's Wreath Boutique if you spend $35 or more. So we're going to take our cheetah print. This is really popular even in fall stuff right now. That's really popular in our pink. If you had some black ribbon, that would be pretty too. If you didn't have any pink and you wanted to use black, that would be pretty as well. So we're going to work with about a 6-inch tail. So you're going to measure 6 inches out on your board. That's why I love these boards. Between 6 and 7 inches, we're going to just kind of gather right there. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to make a 8-inch loop. So I'm going to count out to the 18-inch mark. I'm going to gather it and I'm going to bring it together. I'm going to bring my ribbon over here and we're going to twist it so the right side is showing. I'm going to make another 8-inch loop here and we are going to twist it. Oops, I let it go. Okay, so we're going to twist it so the right side is showing, okay? So I'm going to cut this piece. I'm going to about 6 to 7 inches, okay? And we're going to just take a zip tie and we're going to just hold it like so. All right, we're going to set this to the side. And we're going to make 6 of these, okay? Because our wreath has 6 brackets in it because it's a Dollar Tree wreath. So because it has 6, if you use a smaller wreath frame, and if it only has 5, then just do 5 bundles of these and so forth. Whatever, we're going to focus on that bracket bar. So I'm going to put this to the side. Then I'm going to take this really cute, is that cheetah print? I'm not really sure, but I'm going to take a 6-inch tail here. I'm going to gather it and I'm going to take another 8-inch loop. So I'm going to measure to 8 inches and we're going to do the same exact thing we just did. All right. All right. Now with this one, I want, let's see, I want to kind of direct my the tails in different directions. So I'm going to cut my tail off. And I always like to do a little bit extra because then you can always take away. It's hard to add. You can't add more. Okay. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to take a pipe cleaner this time. Take one and I'm going to go over the top of it like so. And I'm going to just twist it so it holds. Okay. So now let's get our pink ribbon. We're going to just set that to the side. And this time, instead of an 8-inch, we're going to do a 6-inch loop. So again, you're going to about 6 inches here on the tail. And then I'm going to measure 6 inches. We're going to make it just a little bit smaller. I'm going to do the same thing. And this, I don't have to worry about twisting it because, you know, it's the same color. So we're good. And then you're going to just cut it. I'm going to just kind of guesstimate there. Oops, I got a little bit off there. I'll make sure that that's that cut. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to go put it over top of our cheetah print. And I'm just going to take this pipe cleaner that's down here and we're just going to go over it like so. We're going to take both sides and go over the top there, okay? So now I'm going to twist it. So now I'm going to take my awareness ribbon and we're going to go over top of the awareness ribbon with this pipe cleaner. All right, and that's how we're going to attach it to our frame. All right, so what I want you to do now is I want you to make 6 of these. And when we get it on our frame, we'll be able to make all the loops pretty. And then what I'll do is I'll just take, and you can either dovetail, you can make cuts like what I'm doing here. Ah, come on. It's really up to you, okay? And just have fun with it. So that when we put it together, it's just going to be kind of a burst of really pretty ribbon, and it's just going to sit in there. Okay, I might cut those pink ones just a little bit. I think that's a little too long. Just going to eyeball it. All right. So you need 6 of these. So go make 6 of these to put on our wreath. Okay, so now we're going to focus on putting our little bow bundles on the brackets. So I'm going to look here, and we should have a bracket right here. So I'm going to look. Yep, there's one right there. So you've got 1, 2, 3 spaces. I don't know if you can see that, okay? So we're going to use that middle space right there. I'm going to take one of my bows, and I'm just going to take the little pipe cleaner and go down over that crossbar. Now I didn't put any of these little ruffled bow ties is what I guess I'm calling them. I didn't put any of those on the cross bracket. So just avoid the cross bracket. And then I'm just going to twist it, and then I'm going to push that little pipe cleaner up into the wreath itself. So as you can see, that's not that deep. I would say that's about 5 inches deep. So this could easily probably fit in an 18 by 18 by 6 box, because this would come up a little bit. So I have boxes in my Amazon store too, guys. If you're looking for boxes to ship, I have them in my Amazon shop. The link is in the description box below. So let's just find all of the little brackets here. And so here's the next one. So we're going to put it at the same spot, and then you're just going to fluff up your little bow here. Okay. And I'm just twisting it. Let me turn it over for you. All right. So I just twist it, and then I'm just going to put those back into the wreath, because we're going to cover this all. Okay. So I'm going to put on each of these brackets. We got 2 more brackets over here. So if you it kind of goes by pretty quickly. Once you have, I put all these bow bundles, is what I guess I would want to call them, together. I just wanted to do something a little different than the traditional, 3 pieces of ribbon. And you could do a big bow for this wreath. Can you hear my elephants? Oh my goodness. They're having at it. And I know you guys usually can't hear them, but I can. So anyway, so I'm going to put one here, and one there, and I'll be right back. Well, sadly, I didn't have the pink felt that I thought I had. I thought I had this color, but I didn't. So I cut out a piece of white felt. All I'm going to do is I'm going to poke holes, and then I'm going to attach it with these small little zip ties, and then turn the head of it over. So let me just show you really quick here, and then I'll go around the whole wreath and just add a few zip ties, and it will finish off our wreath. And then you just put that underneath. So go around and do the whole thing. And before I flip this over, I'm going to put a hook on this, because our wreath can only be held one, or hung one way. So I'm going to use that bracket, that top bracket, and we are just going to make a little hook here, like so. And then that way you can hang the wreath from the little hook. Just stick it down in there, and then you have a little hook. Well, I hope you enjoyed this wreath as much as I did making it, trying something a little different with the bow bundles and doing that kind of like a bow tie ruffle. And the sign is amazing. So again, you go over to Mel's Crafty Mojo. Use my coupon code. My link is in the description box, Julie's Wreath Boutique, to receive $10 off of orders of $35 or more. Remember that she doesn't have all this ribbon in stock anymore, but she has plenty of other ribbons to choose from. Pick 3, pick 2 if you only, want to use 2 different ribbons. It's really up to you. Have fun with it. Make the mesh. If you have black mesh or pink mesh, this is poly burlap. I use the kind of middle pink of the poly burlap and then the gray, but you could use white and pink. You could use all white and then just use your ribbon as the accent. So have fun with it. Make sure you leave a red heart for Michelle and Amber's videos. If you watched me first, if you're one of my subscribers and you went over to watch them. And also remember to honor those who have fought the fight of breast cancer. It is such a horrible disease, and maybe someday we will conquer it. And something just fell over there, but maybe someday we will conquer it. And I will say my mother's name, Mary Casey, and she fought bravely. She had faith, and she was the most courageous woman I know or knew. So leave the name of the person you want to honor in the comments so that we can honor them. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. If you haven't checked out my social media, all my links are in the description box below. And until next time, we'll see you later in Julie's Wreath Boutique. Bye-bye.